Hey guys, what's up? So I wanted to give my thoughts on this bit of news as well. This is Wuhan bans eating wild animals. The Wuhan authorities have expanded a ban on the trade of illegal wildlife to include hunting and eating as well, according to China's Global Times reports. The ban includes consumption of any wildlife and aquatic wild animals that are on preservation lists, as well as those bred in captivity, according to the Wuhan government's official website. The virus first emerged in Wuhan late last year, and authorities initially pointed to a wet market that also sold wildlife. In January, China issued a temporary ban in the trade in wild animals, as it did during the SARS outbreak. A month later, the government thoroughly banned the illegal trading of wildlife and eliminated the consumption of wild animals to safeguard people's lives and health. But since then, a number of reports have said wildlife is still being sold in markets in China and elsewhere. The exact origin of the new coronavirus is not known for certain, but the evidence suggests it came from an animal. My thing about this is I'm actually glad that they've extended the ban on trading of wildlife for the simple fact that if it did come from an animal, we could be having multiple reoccurring issues if people are just ignoring it. People are very quick to forget the situation that we're all in, that everyone is in a lockdown for at least probably a month or two. We're just finishing the second month now in the UK, and I don't like the fact that my liberty has been taken away because someone just can't stop eating this disgusting, dirty meat. There needs to be clearer guidance to ban all of these countries from eating any of these meats again, I think, personally. There needs to be an international effort to say, to create a list of animals that we shouldn't be eating. I know what you're going to say, but what about the situation with swine flu? What about bird flu? But these are generally animals that are kind of eaten more globally anyway. They're kind of accepted and they're kind of dealt with at a higher standard. We have very strict standards within Britain about rearing of animals, and therefore infections tend to be quite reduced. It's just the situation sometimes gets that way. It needs to be countries like China that have all these kind of unusual meats that need to stop eating them. We need to stop seeing the consumption of things like snakes and bats and monkeys and anything of that kind of aspect. And I refer that also to Africa as well. You do have quite a lot of that, including also Southeast Asia, and a lot of Asia have these kind of meats as well. Although some of the countries, for example India, are very kind of vegetarian based anyway, so it's less of a risk from that standpoint. There needs to be more to just kind of stop or just completely destroy these markets. If people are still actually going about their business dealing with this, they need to be stopped. Someone needs to actually just destroy these markets, and they need to be punished for this. I was actually going to look at another story to do with not to do with the to do with the coronavirus, but not to do with that consumption. This is hospital delivers 100 babies from COVID-19 mums. More than 100 healthy babies have been born to mothers infected with the novel coronavirus in one hospital in India's western city of Mumbai. There are 3 of the 15 babies born to infected mothers at the Lokmanya Tilak Municipal General Hospital in the past month. Initially tested positive for COVID-19, but subsequent tests cleared them, doctors have said. 2 other infected pregnant women died at the hospital, including one who died before her baby was born, with nearly 24,000 reported infections and more than 840 deaths so far. India's financial and entertainment capital has become the epicenter of COVID-19. More than half of the babies born to infected women at the hospital, also called Sion Hospital, were delivered through C-section, while the rest were natural births, officials have said. 56 of them were boys, while 59 were girls. 22 of those infected mothers were referred to from other hospitals, and it is not clear whether the majority of those women contracted the infection at home, outdoors, or in a hospital ward. A team of 65 doctors and 24 nurses have been treating these COVID-infected mothers in a 40-bed special ward. With the surge of infections, the hospital is planning to add another 34 beds for infected pregnant patients. The deliveries are happening on half a dozen tables in 3 operation theatres, where doctors and nurses and anaesthetists are using protective gear. We are fortunate that most of the women who have tested positive are showing no symptoms at all. Some of them had fever and reported breathlessness. We have treated them and sent them home after delivery. Dr. Aaron Nyack, head of gynecology at the hospital, has said. There is a lot of anxiety among the mothers. They keep telling us they might die, but we have to make sure that the child is healthy. After giving birth, the mothers remain in the special ward, and are administered the hydroxychloroquine. After that, they are quarantined up to 10 days in a separate centre. The babies are not isolated and are breastfed by mothers wearing face masks. This is actually good news to show that actually the spread of the infection is less likely to happen amongst babies. Although I did see a piece in the BBC as well saying there had been a confirmed case where it has kind of, unfortunately, the mum has died and the baby has it. I don't know the state of the baby, but it's just unfortunately how it has been. In February, a Chinese newborn was diagnosed with the new coronavirus just 30 hours after birth in Wuhan, the epicenter of the virus. And in March, an infant who had tested positive for COVID-19 in Chicago, the first known death of a child younger than a year infected with the virus in the US. A 6-week-old infant reportedly died of complications related to COVID-19 in Connecticut. And earlier this month, a 3-day-old baby died after his mother tested positive for the virus in Wales. Mother-to-child transmission of the virus in the womb or at the time of delivery prior to contact of the infant with the mother's respiratory secretions is rare. Dr. Adam Ratner, the director of pediatric infectious diseases at New York University Schools of Medicine and Hassenfield Children's Hospital at NYU Langone Health, told them. This is, of course, with a caveat. He says that this is a rapidly changing situation and new data may arise. Dr. Ratner says there is some emerging data that suggests that the novel coronavirus can be detected in tissues. There has also been reports of babies dying in the fetus and pregnant women with acute infection. He said, but that may be for reasons other than the direct infection. He's said that there has been a report of antibody responses in newborns that could be consistent with infection in the womb or at delivery. That would mean that the baby could have been infected in the womb. It is very important to continue to examine those questions and look at the outcomes of infants born to mothers with COVID-19, even if they are not infected in the womb. He said that helped care for a number of infants born of infected mothers at his hospital. We have allowed feeding of expressed breast milk, and we are trying to find arrangements to protect the infant from acquiring the virus in early life. The very young children that I've seen with the infection have generally done well, he said. At the Mumbai hospital, the number of infants born to COVID-19 positive mothers have been a little more than 20% of total babies born in the same period. The one time we really felt upset when a 28-year-old infected mother passed away last week after delivering a healthy boy. Her liver was failing and she was sinking fast. He realised how helpless we were during treatment. She kept asking helplessly, can anything be done? So this shows some good news that babies are rare to kind of get it, but of course they could have got it. More information and research needs to be carried out, but that's just how things are at the moment. Are you concerned? Are you actually in a situation where this is currently a problem you're facing? Leave your comments down below, whatever you think. What do you consider about the situation of just permanently stopping these countries from eating these types of meats. I just think if we continue to do this, we're just going to see more and more of these pandemics. And as bad as this one is, who knows how quickly we're going to get something worse. I saw a report on the number of outbreaks in countries, and not only are they happening more frequently, they're actually crossing over each other. So as an outbreak might be weakening in one country, it's kind of strengthening in another country or neighbouring countries, and a lot more diseases are actually travelling a lot further afield. This for me is quite concerning, just from the point of view that these diseases, are incredibly painful. They are just going to infect as many as they are and do whatever they like. Leave your comments down below. Like or dislike the video. Don't matter on this one. It's just to kind of see responses and just make sure to write them down below.